everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or depending on the time we're reaching you guys. Welcome back to our channel. So good to have you guys back here again. Thank you once again for your continuous and massive support to this channel. God bless you. Yes, guys, as always, we're back again with latest and most authentic happenings in the country. Edo State is boiling seriously. Governor Godwin Obaseki, we know over the last couple of days he's been trending just because of the remark he made regarding the state of the economy, the dwindling state of the economy, how presidency printed naira to share to governors. We know the controversy is still ongoing. Reactions from different quarter, even CBN governor complicating matters and contradicting themselves, owning up to the fact that they actually printed money, but it was a loan. Anyway, APC, they've been attacking Governor Godwin Obaseki. They've come again with another one, and their attack right now is that Governor Godwin Obaseki has no excuse for not having a cabinet for up to 6 months after inauguration. We'll bring you all of those details shortly. But before we do, guys, please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Thank you once again. The latest excuse for Obaseki's inability to assemble a cabinet over 6 months into his second term has arrived. This time from the Edo PDP chairman, Mr. Tony Eziegbemi, who stated in a Friday interview that Obaseki's inaction is fueled by other tedious work, majorly purging the government of layabouts because the government workforce is bloated and unproductive. To quote him directly, he said the workforce in the government house is overloaded with people, and Governor Obaseki cannot continue with such huge number as he plans to make the system more efficient. He cannot carry such a baggage. Ignoring the temptation to ask if Obaseki is personally debriefing and escorting the unwanted staff out of the government house, as that is the only conceivable reason such exercise would take half a year and counting, will still focus on the more challenging question that showcases the illogic of this latest excuse. The question is simple. How did the workforce become so bloated? Perhaps Tony Azegbemi is blissfully unaware that though his party, the PDP, is new to power, Obaseki is not. Therefore, the recycled and worn out trope of clearing out the dead wood of a previous administration where new parties and individuals emerge does not apply. If Obaseki is dealing with a bloated workforce, it is because he irresponsibly populated it in the first term. We were witnesses to the mass hiring the government embarked on in the run-up to the election, in which nearly all the youths Obaseki could lay hands on were handed letters of appointment, mostly as aides. What were they going to aid him with in the twilight of his campaign to justify the significant impact their hiring had on the government spending, the consequences of which are manifesting today is best explained by Obaseki himself. Perhaps the 11th hour appointments were made to bridge the yawning gap that laid bare the loud failure of his 200,000 jobs promise. Whatever the case may be, mounting a defense premise on overload workforce certainly cannot fly when the same governor was adding more weight to the same workforce at the time he had no serious reason to do so. At what point did Obaseki realize his workforce was overloaded, and why is the supposed clear out taking over 6 months? Importantly too, what sensible connection is there to make between this and assembling a cabinet whose first mandate could be to trim down the government to make it more efficient and cost-effective if Obaseki is indeed serious with the quest? The PDP and Obaseki sympathizers are clearly grasping at straws. They know deep inside that 6 months and counting without the cabinet is not only an indicting show of incompetence but an indication that the man they hold brief for is blundering around with no real plan, vision, or direction. If a list of those to be relieved of their duties and clear out of the government house is being compiled, Godwin Obaseki should be the first on it. He is the state's biggest liability and burden. Well, all of this is coming from John Mayaki. We know him very well. He's the one who is putting out this out there because yesterday we know that Tony Azegbemi, the PDP chairman spoke about briefly when he was the first thing he spoke about was backing Governor Godwin Obaseki on his claims that CBN actually printed 50 to 60 billion naira to share to governors. After that, he also spoke about Obaseki's cabinet, that Obaseki is doing a lot, that there's a lot going on. That is why he's here to form the cabinet. But John Mayaki has raised a lot of reasons that it's 6 months is enough for Obaseki to put his house together and set up a cabinet. This is not the first time APC they are complaining about the lack of Obaseki's cabinet. At one point, they stated that Obaseki's sole administratorship is not doing good for Edo State. And they made that complaint. Right now, they are stating that it's 6 months and counting, and that all the excuses Obaseki is giving does not justify why his cabinet has not been formed. Obaseki is stating that the workforce is overloaded, that is populated, that what they are trying to do is that they are trying to reduce the workforce within the government. But Mayaki is asking a question that in the first place, who hired all of those aides? Mayaki pointed out that during the run-up to the Edo State governorship election, Obaseki hired a lot of aides. We know that one came up as a headline, that Obaseki hired a certain number. It was a lot. It was a lot then. Mayaki is stating that in the first place, Obaseki was the one who hired all those people. Why is he not complaining right now that in the first place, who populated the workforce in his first term, that he did it himself, that he went into mass hiring in the run-up to the Edo governorship election, that nearly all the youth Obaseki could lay hands on, they were all handed over appointment letters. Most of them were aides, one aide, this aide, and that aide, and all of that. Well, after APC put out that one in the first instance, that the people of Edo State are complaining, they are not happy why the cabinet has not been formed. The reactions that came was that APC should state that they are the only ones complaining, that the people of Edo State are happy with Obaseki. So it looks like it's just APC that are not happy. I don't really know if that is the situation, but guys, let's hear your own take, because Mayaki, all he's hitting at right now is that after 6 months, it's 6 months, Obaseki still doesn't have a cabinet, and all of his excuses are not good enough. Even the excuse that Tony Aziegbemi brought out yesterday, that Obaseki right now is foiled by other tedious work, and the work is majorly purging the government of layabouts, and also the government workforce that is bloated and unproductive. So they are trying to trim it and settle down. Well, guys, let's hear your take down below in the comment section. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe till I come your way again with more updates. Bye.